All right. Welcome back, Sneak Squad and Sidekicks. If you're just now joining us, you have missed some incredible races so far. If you're just now joining this coming up is our third race of the day. Our first race was our championship match. This coming up is our third race of the day. Sleekbeak defeated Copperwing. In our second race, I want to be the first to apologize to Old King Cake. Old King Cake was taken out by the number 1 seed, my boy, in swift fashion. And right now, we have our number 10 seed, the ultimate underdog, Echo, taking on the number 2 seed, Cassie. This game that we have today, Bubble Bobble Part 2.
Yeah, and it is, I just want to say very quickly before our race starts, it is banana that you introduced if you've missed it with sharing my great defeat. But I want you guys to know there that I'm going to offer you the completely non-biased Echo-favored commentary by starting with introducing both of our racers. Cassie on our left, their favorite Pokemon is Leafeon. They are a streamer who lately has been streaming Celeste and the Legend of Zelda. On the right, we have Echomics, whose favorite Pokemon has been assured to me as Togepi 100%, and they are primarily an art streamer. I want to give a quick shout out before we get the race going, just to our lovely mods and social media team, and for Cause for holding it down on the producer level, being the absolute greatest producer that we've ever had in Sneaky history. And with that, I think it's time, Kia, to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, let's get this thing rolling. Racers, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And with that, our racers have started Bubble Bobble Part 2. Friends of the stream, you might remember this game back from, not this game exactly, but we played Bubble Bobble, the original, probably about 6 or 8 months ago.
Absolutely. And can I ask, what's do you have a personal relationship with Bubble Bobble? Because I very much do.
I played through the original Bubble Bobble many times. This game, not so much. Only shortly play testing this one a little bit, but no, don't really have a strong sense of this game too much.
So can I tell you a tale as we begin our race? Our objective of this race is to beat level 19. We're seeing Cassie getting a little bit of a lead so far, but as we all know, Echo Hive stand up. You should have put all your points on Echo, the ultimate underdog. Can I tell you a bit of a story, Kia?
Let's do it. I like story time.
Do you guys have Kelsey's in America? Is that like an American restaurant you can go to?
I have never heard of that.
Okay, so it might be a Canadian thing. It's just like an Olive Garden. It's a restaurant, right? A family restaurant. In the corner of this family restaurant, they had an arcade machine that you could put loonies into, which is the Canadian dollary-do coin. You can put loonies in it, and you could play Bubble Bobble 2 and Rampage. And let me tell you what, me and my brother would play the 2-player mode of Bubble Bobble 2 every single time we went to this restaurant, to the point where it was the only restaurant that we went to as a family.
That sounds like so much fun. I always love playing in arcades with friends.
Absolutely. If there's one thing that we've learned from the Sneakbike community, is that there's no better way to play these wonderful retro games than with your bestest Sneakbike friends. As we're seeing Echo get a little trapped in the corner, now those green bubbles will fall from the sky, and they're a little helpful because they're going to kill the enemies that are going down the ladder there, but you can get in a little unfortunate loopity-loop.
In this game, you can jump out of those by pressing the jump button. You can jump out of that so you don't have to slide all the way down with the water.
It's still, I don't know about you, I get a little panicky when things like that happen in these retro games, because I'm just like, oh god, something has gone terribly wrong. I am worried for my life.
Oh yeah, definitely. This game also had some a little bit of some different mechanics than the first one as well. In this one, you can hold down the bubble shot, I guess you would call it, and then when you release it, it'll shoot out like a bunch of bubbles all at once, like a bubble beam.
So what you're saying is that our lead characters, Bub and Bob, are actually Pokemon.
Yeah, they're just water Pokemon.
This is actually the pre-evolution of Squirtle. Fun fact from your commentators who will never lie to you. These are actually just proto-Squirtles. And yes, you heard me right. The main characters, as shown by the NES manual, are both Bub and Bob.
Are Bub and Bob, yes.
It said that on the side of the arcade cabinet, too. This was one of my favorite games ever when I was growing up. If it was this, my boy, you're in chat, and I know this is an unprofessional stance for a commentator to take. My boy, if you're in chat right now, if it was Bubble Bobble 2, I want you to know I would have mixed you up. That's all I'll say about it.
You know, there was a lot of thought to go into these games that were chosen for each of the races, and again, I apologize once, and I can't apologize enough, but you got smoked.
We don't gotta put it like that. Hey, can I ask you a question as the game picker? I think a very interesting question here.
Certainly.
So I know that as the game picker, I have not personally game picked for Sneakbike, but I know as the game picker, you tend to have a kind of a theme going into it. Was there a theme for today's racers, for the intermediate races?
I have not had a real theme yet too much for any of the tournament races. I definitely tried to, for our normal Sneakbike events, try to have a theme going. But for the tournament races, no, I haven't really had one. The first one, the seeding race, where you guys played Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario World, I was just trying to go back to classics. And then it was, just anything that I thought would be fun.
Right. And speaking of fun, we're actually seeing it's a shockingly tight race here, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're looking at the screen right now, Cassie is a little bit farther ahead. I believe they're closing in. I think this must be about level 10-ish. I haven't quite seen all the numbers yet. We'll see it after they beat this one.
Yes, this is level 10. There's a boss after each 10 levels.
Okay, phenomenal scenes. And we're seeing Echo just get past level 6. The very nice part about this for a Sneakbike game, and I will commend you, I often clown you for your game picking abilities, but I will say I'll give you credit where credit's due. I think this is a phenomenal Sneakbike game because it has one of my favorite mechanics for a Sneakbike race, and that's that if you die, you can just continue from the level you've left off.
This is true. This is true. However, there is a limited number of continues. It is not unlimited. It might seem unlimited, but I tested that as well, because originally I thought we would go through level 20 to face the second boss, because that boss was a little bit trickier.
Okay.
You do run out of continues.
Interesting. See, so I've only ever played this, like I said, I only played this as an arcade game. And as you know, the only limit to arcade game is your parents' amount of loonies. That's it. So as long as they got loonies to burn, you got lives to burn, brother.
Get those loonies.
We're seeing Echo having a bit of trouble here on our first fiery boy, who is, as Bears pointed out, absolutely adorable, is basically one of my favorite sprites that ever existed. Yeah, it's our first level that has a lot of mechanics.
Right. Yeah. So this fire dude's shooting out fire at you. Echo trying to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bubble, and that's a fact. I will say, if there's one thing I do love about the Bubble Bobble series, I love the pastel colors that they worked with from the NES color palette. I think it makes for such a pretty, very lighthearted sprite animation style in these games. Specifically, I think Taito was really good at it, which is the company that made it.
Lovely. It's such a great advancement from the first Bubble Bobble.
What do you got against the first Bubble Bobble, Kia?
Nothing. I loved it. I'm just saying that, the first Bubble Bobble, there wasn't, really much background. It was just kind of, almost like a blank screen with, it was an NES game.
Right, of course. As we're seeing, it's funny to see now. So Cassie is in theoretical mathematics, and correct me if I'm wrong, as we all know Canadian math is different than American math. Echo is on level 7, Cassie's on level 14. I believe that means she is double the process of Echo.
That sounds about right. Now Cassie has to use one of the mechanics that is new to Bubble Bobble Part 2. That is, you can hold the bubble inside your mouth and actually float upwards. Let's see if Cassie can figure it out.
So yeah, it's interesting too, because it's interesting when I think when you see a retro game, when you see the sequel actually vastly improving on the original, because there's a lot of mechanics that come from 1 to 2 that are actually vastly different, as we do see Echo is taking the fabled permadeath that we were talking about earlier, getting all the way sent back to round 1, which is deeply unfortunate for them. Oh. As we see Cassie working away, still trying to figure out the super bubble that we're talking about here.
Well, it's not even the super bubble. They just have to hold down the button, and the bubbles will stay inside their mouth. It almost looks like they can't hold it down, and it's auto-firing.
It does look like that. They are using macros, which of course is probably not happening. I would never accuse anyone of cheating in this. Oh my god! That was the most insane strat I've ever seen.
Takes the death.
That was the smartest thing I've seen in Sneakbike history. Taking an intentional death to get yourself out of a sticky situation. The brain wrinkles on display are deep. That is what I will say.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't recall if the basically holding your breath mechanic comes into play in later levels.
Right.
It might actually right here.
It does look like it, although there is the riding the bubble. For anyone who's in chat who hasn't maybe played the game before, if you see these bubbles riding around, if you jump into them, just simply jump into them, bang, bang, boom, that's a pop. If you jump on them, you'll hold the button, you'll start floating on the bubble, which is how you get to some of the more trickier platforms if you don't know the floating technique. Cassie trying to figure it out.
Oh, gets up there, jumping on the bubble.
Incredibly close. If I'm her, I think that's my strat, because I did try and do the holdy breath on the NES controller, a little bit harder than one would anticipate, I'd say.
Ooh, taking another death for another game over.
I think the real equalizer we might actually see here, not to pull a sneak meme out of the blue, but I think it'll be interesting to see if Cassie ends up taking a permadeath and has to start from level 1 as Echo did. Echo will be ahead. It'll be interesting to see if Echo can really move quickly with the information they've had, if they've maybe learned enough lessons to keep their advantage if that were to happen.
Well, I don't know if you saw it when it happened, because it happened really quick. Echo took a death immediately upon restarting after taking that permadeath and hit the reset. So, saving lives.
Saving lives, saving frames. As we know, Echo is old hand at this. Echo is the greatest speedrunner that's ever lived on the planet. So it's something that, oh my god, as Cassie gets a power-up, completely taking out the little flame boy. And looks content to just kind of do it. I love that as a strategy. I love seeing them get a power-up and just being like, yep, run it.
Yeah, those twister power-ups are quite interesting.
All right, as we see Echo get back to the boss fight, and I'll say, I think this boss fight is actually, or I guess mini boss fight, is actually markedly harder than some of the later Fireboys. Because getting in that little slot at level 6 is so hard. Never mind, Echo proves me wrong as the greatest speedrunner ever made. It happens. Hey, like I said, I hope everyone put their money on Echo. We are seeing Cassie get to, I believe, round 18, so very close to that final boss.
This is, we got fire going on now.
do. We got little Bomberman style power ups for our Bubble Bobble boy. Oh, doesn't quite get that bubble. I'm interested to see if we have a Clue Land number dose here on our hands, because Cassie has been cruising through this game, and I don't know what death Cassie would have to take in order to get the final death and restart, but it would be deeply unfortunate if a commentator's curse were to happen right now on this last level.
Yeah, this could be it right here. Oh, takes a immediate death upon coming into this stage.
Picking up some power-ups, going for some pro spots.
Another death.
Every time the players die, my soul leaps out of my body a little bit because I'm afraid it's a perma. And that happens every time I commentate Sneakbike. I'm always worried that the players will just perma die. Oh.
And that's it. That's it. Cassie getting power-ups. Taking out level 19.
Oh my god, Clue Land, we hardly knew ye. Bubble Bobble Part 2 goes to Cassie, who will be moving on in the intermediate bracket. Shouts out to Echo. GG's.
GG Cassie earning the right to face off against the number 3 seed, Flying Octopus. Congratulations.
Oh my god. Kia, would you like to hop into the chat and just let the racers know?
I will.
Thank you so much. And while Kia goes off to do that, chat, if you had fun hanging out with us today, I know that there was 3 different races. There was beginner, intermediate, and you can join into not only as a racer, but as part of the lovely community. If you hit that ! Discord, you're going to be able to get into the community. You can sign up for races as a player, as a commentator, as even a producer, if that's more your speed. If that's something you want to learn, we also have different communities just doing all kinds of cool, fun stuff. It's a very chill community that I think you should join. And make sure you follow everyone you've seen here today. If you do ! Runners, you can find the runners. ! Commentators, you can find the commentators. Also, I don't know what the command is, but make sure you follow Cosmic Cordy, our lovely producers who are working so hard behind the scenes. If you hit ! Socials, you can follow us at all of those places there, and please do. Helps the brand grow so we can keep doing this, because it's just something we love to do and a community that we love to foster with you people in chat.
Yeah, let's hop. Let's pull them into commentator voice. We'll do a debrief.
Let's get a sneaky debrief. Hola, racers, me amo Bubble Bobble 2. How do we feel? I want to start with Echo.
It was fun. I have played the first one for Sneakbike, and I think I did just as bad this time.
Well, you actually did pretty good. I mean, Cassie, didn't quite run away with it like Clue Land run away with it. But ran pretty quickly through it.
Yeah, I couldn't get past that one stage with the fire for a while.
Yeah. Saw you got hung up with the fire, but the second time you came to it, Squirtle, bubble beamed it out of existence.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go right ahead.
No, I just I think that it was hard for me to understand the way that it was throwing out the fire. I felt very stressed at that level.
Cassie, what did you think of Bubble Bobble Part 2?
Well, just like Echo, I played Bubble Bobble Part 1, as apparently it's canonically called. And so a lot of the mechanics were kind of the same from Bubble Bobble Part 1, so it was pretty easy to pick up on. I got stuck on the one where the little floaty elephant things just floated up to the top of the screen and then came back at the bottom while I'm stuck at the top. I had no idea how to get back down there.
Yeah, Old King Cake and I were talking about that. There's actually a function in this game to where if you hold the bubbles in your mouth, you actually can float.
What?
So you can screen wrap through the top of the screen back down to the bottom.
That's wild.
I mean, and it looked like you were mashing the bubble button, quite a bit there. But if you hold it down, that's when you kind of fill up with air.
That's amazing. I did not pick up on that.
Before we go for the day, and I hope we both enjoyed. I hope everyone had a good time. Cassie and Echo, can I just ask, if Leafeon and Togepi got in a fight, who do you think would win objectively?
Objectively, we'd go home friends.
Yeah, objectively, it wouldn't be a fight, it would be a play date.
And that is exactly what we like to hear. GG's to the both of you. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys feel closer together as friends after dealing with both Bub and Bob in their many hijinks and adventures.
GG, Echo.
Good job, Cassie. Who are you going up against?
Cassie is going to be facing Flying Octopus.
Oh my goodness.
It's the number 2 seed versus the number 3 seed.
Exciting.
That's a well-seeded tournament. I'm very excited for that.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry.
This is the first time I've actually raced on Sneakbike, despite commentating and picking out games a whole bunch, except the qualifier. But yeah, so it was a ton of fun. And thank you, Echo.
Thank you.
We love a good, wholesome community, and with that, ladies and germs and everything in between, that is going to be where we say GG's for Sneakbike. We're going to be doing a cheeky little raid of our friend Ruby Red, who's streaming Super Mario 3D World Bowser's a Furry, and I cannot wait to see what they're getting up to there. If you haven't already, make sure you follow the channel, make sure you hit that heart, you hit the bell to make sure when we go live, you can see not only the finals of the tournament, but also the rest of our Sneakbike races that we get into. Kia, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to commentate with you and watch these races. Make sure you follow the commentators, your exclamation point commentators, your exclamation point runners, all that good stuff. Copy that raid, get ready to pasta. Kia, do you have anything final you want to say?
No, I just want to thank everyone for coming out. This was another phenomenal event for the tournament. We only have 3 more races left to go, so we're going to be getting the schedule, the matches scheduled between my boy and Kai Matin and Flying Octopus and Cassievania, and so look out for that schedule coming up soon. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out.